Okay, so for those that have watched the previous video, remember I've showed you how to solve numbers less than 1, and I've given you a classwork, and I believe you have watched the solution. Now let's move to numbers that are greater than 1. Greater than sign is like this. Okay, now how do we solve, or how do we write in standard form when we are given such examples? Look at our first example here. I have example 1, 7345, example 2, 7399, example 3, 47.35, example 4, 999927, 99992.7. There's a decimal point there. Now, if you notice, you will see that the first two examples that we're expected to solve now doesn't have decimal points physically written. It's not visible. While here, the decimal point is visible. Alright? The decimal point here is not visible. The decimal point here is what? Is visible. Now, if you recall in mathematics, do you know that 7 or 75 is the same thing as 75.0? Do you know? Are you aware? Okay, now let's move on. We will need that later. Now, for us to write a number in standard form, remember, this has to do with numbers greater than 1. So all you need to do is to pick the first whole number. Alright? Put your decimal point, then write the remaining numbers, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Then introduce your times, 10 raised to power what? Okay? Then you now ask yourself, immediately after the first whole number, how many numbers can you see? 3. So it will be plus 3. Remember, this rule does not apply to number 3 and number 4. So just be patient, follow me in the video. I will show you what to do when you can physically see the decimal point. The second example, I have 7399. I have 7399. What's the rule? Take the first number, put your decimal points, write other numbers. Introduce the multiplication sign, 10 raised to power plus what? After the first whole number, let's count. 1, 2, 3. So the answer is like this. Okay? In fact, for the sake of this video, let me quickly give you one side one here. Let's say I have 2, 6, 9, 8, 4, 2, 2. Alright? Let's quickly write this in decimal, in standard form. What's the first whole number? 2 point what? 698422. Okay? Even though later I will tell you how to take it to other decimal point, but there's no problem for now. Let's, for the sake of this video, times 10 raised to power, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you get that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you have plus 6. Why is it plus? Because the number we are dealing with is greater than 1. Right. Good. Now that you understand that, let's go to the third example. Now, you see, for number 3, the question has decimal point already physically written in the question. So what do you do in such a case? What do you do in such a case? Now, let's write the first one. I have 4. Remember the rule. Write the first number, put your decimal point, write the other numbers. Then introduce your times, 10 raised to power. Now, listen. It will be an error to say 1, 2, 3, because that's what we did for the first two. The reason we did that is because the decimal point is assumed to be here. It's assumed to be here. That's why I gave you that example of 75 is the same thing as 75.0. The reason we didn't, once you see a whole number, there's a decimal point in front of it. That's a general rule in mathematics. So 4 is the same thing with 4.0. This is a whole number. This is showing you the closest figure after the decimal point. Do you get it now? Now, coming back here now, what do you do? All we need to do is, we only need to take the number before the decimal point. So how many numbers can you see before the decimal point? 1. So our answer is 10 raised to power 1. Other people will say, okay, let me show you something. Now, following what I told you here, that 75 is the same thing with 75.0. Now let us move the decimal points. Let us see, so that you can see that what we are doing is correct. Now, 7345, there's no decimal point written in the answer. Now, but we have 3 here. So let me prove it to you how we got 3. Assume the decimal point is in front of the last number, just like we have here. Now let's count. Let's move. So the decimal point will move 1, it will move 2, it will move 3. Can you see? 7.3. That's why we move 3 times. Now let's go. 1, 2, 3. That's why we have 7.3. Here, the same thing here. We have 6. So let's move. 1. Let's move. Let me put the video properly. Let's move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why we have 2.6. So that's why we have plus 6, because we move 6 times. But for this one, when the decimal point is here, you only move once. That's why we have this plus 1. Do you get it now? Now let us now apply that to the second one. What's the first whole number? 9 point. Write other numbers. 99927 times 10 raised to power plus what? Where is the decimal point before? Here. So let's count the numbers after the first whole number, then stop at the decimal point. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. That's plus 4. In case you don't understand that, let's move the decimal point so that it can be exactly here. So let's go from this is where the decimal point is in the question. Let's move 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means we're going to have plus 4. So either ways, you can pick the one that is easier for you to understand. Either you say you count apart from the whole number, apart from this whole number, you count other numbers where and stop exactly where the decimal point is. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and put your plus 4. Just like this one. Take away the first whole number, because that one will stand before the decimal point. Then count 1. I only have one figure here before the decimal. That is why this is plus 1. Alright? So let me give you something to try. Try this. Write 624.2 in standard form. So now try this, okay? Try this. 624.2. Write it in standard form. In the next video, I'll do the correction.